Salutations, this is possibly random here. I'm recording this after the video is done. I just wanted to let you know that this is part 2 of the night art system that I've been building. So if you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and check that out. Link will be in the description. But anyways, let's get started with the video. This is possibly random here, again, with another Minecraft video involving the night art system. The original night art system is gone, and in its place is this thing, which to a non-redstone Minecraft person looks like somebody took a bunch of wool and a bunch of redstone blocks and placed it, and then built it and made it somehow do something that can't be wrapped your head around. So I'm gonna try and explain this. I'm probably not gonna do very well, so I'm just gonna attempt to. This time there's only one daylight sensor. There's only one comparator. And there's a lot more redstone torches and wool, but I guess if you somehow can't get to the nether and get quartz, I guess this is useful. So if you can't find quartz or something, then this is useful, because it conserves on quartz, but it does the opposite on everything else. But that's fine. That's okay. This system is more advanced than the previous, but I would not want to build this in my survival world, because it's a little bit more complex. And I don't feel like hollowing out a much larger space inside of my redstone room to build this. I'll try and show you later the actual night art that I have in my survival world. Warning, it doesn't have a wall, and it's not this type. It's the type I showed in my previous video. So I'll show you the early night warning now. It clicks like this. It clicks slowly, and this thing comes down. Now the bed alert. The same note block is clicking just a little bit faster, and the other signal is no longer there. In the next mode, it's clicking very fast, and there's another alarm as well, which I might do something real quick. There. So basically how this works is, when it begins to become night, this daylight sensor isn't able to push its signal all the way over here, so this repeater turns off. And when the repeater turns off, then this torch turns on, which pushes down this piston, allowing this signal to pass through and ding this note block every time that repeater turns on. In the next mode, in the middle night mode, then it becomes pretty dark, and so then the signal comes out and leaves, and it is no longer powering this repeater, so it turns off, which causes this redstone line to turn off, which activates this torch and this torch. So it activates this torch and pushes that piston down, but it activates this torch, which will go over here and it will repower this redstone line and deactivate this, so that will turn off. And then in the next mode, when it becomes dark enough for mobs to spawn, this repeater will turn off, causing this redstone line to turn off, and it will activate all three of these torches, which means that it will power this redstone line, which will keep this torch disabled, deactive, and it will power this redstone line, which I forgot what that does. I think it's for when it keeps it off in this mode, so it'll keep this thing kept off again, which is hard to explain. And then over here's the daylight sensor, which is not inverted. You don't invert the daylight sensor this time. And that's the system. That's very simple. Now I'm gonna go show you my survival world with this system in place. Not this system. The system I showed in the previous video is in my survival world. I'm outside. Fantastic. Ignore all the sounds and clicking and stuff that's not part of the night alert, because that's part of the mob farm. But it's in here. So I mentioned you should have your iron door to your base. The chickens are loud. I'm going to turn it down. Oops, I pressed F1. There we go. Okay, so I've got a sign saying that the outer door locks. There's my iron door that I mentioned, which will shut at night. And then here's the inner door that I said you should have, because what the inner door will do is it will basically prevent anything, even if it's day. Say there's like a mob that's still not burned, it'll come in here and, or it won't come in here. This will prevent it. And you should have a pressure plate on the inside only of your inner door. That way, when you leave, it will auto shut, or it'll automatically open to let you leave, and then auto shut. When you come back in, you can just open it, and it will then auto shut to make sure nobody leaves it open. And here's the outer door emergency release, which I mentioned that you should have, and that will be basically if there's other people on this server, then I can let them through if they're still outside past the night. So I can go ahead and show you the circuit for this redstone for the night door. It might actually go off when I'm down here. Yeah, this is the nightmare, and I know it. I don't have a wool farm. I don't have any wool installed. There's no wool. So just pretend there is. A lot of this stuff is for other alarm systems, like for the security system and the fire alarm system and the fire sprinkler system. These are for the section of the night alert system that needs to go up. Because there are those, I don't know if you might have seen them earlier. I might show a freeze frame, I might not if I don't feel like editing. There is 2 redstone lamps raised up, and basically those torches are alternating, and they will activate those lights when the night alert system triggers in a specific mode. This is ignore this. This is for the auto smelter. That's for a system that creates pulses periodically. But this is the daylight sensor that's inverted for the nighttime part of the night alert system, and it's basically the same exact circuit, except it's in this really compressed form inside of this maintenance room. I built this circuit before I built a lot of the other stuff in this maintenance room. So this is for the, actually, as I'm speaking about it, it activates. This is for the early warning system, and this is the non-inverted daylight sensor. Here, listen. So I can explain the rest of the stuff, or I'll actually let it go off. So then this is for the non-inverted daylight sensor, and it goes through here, and it will let this torch turn on when the signal no longer gets to it. And then there's a comparator clock here, and there's the note block with the glass underneath it, which creates the click. And then this redstone line goes over here to these torches, and so as you can see, the way I'm sending the redstone signal up is I've got a block and the torch and a block and a torch. So basically they sort of alternate, and it also adds a little bit of delay, which is not intended, but it happens. You can see them still going up. They go all the way up to the top of the mountain. It's dark in here. I need to add some torches. I've had mobs spawning in here before. And then for this section of the circuit, it's basically this. It's got that, and it's all packed in here. And one problem I have with this system is the fact that that's above here is the main lobby, and before I added these diorite, whenever the wood burned on the floor, which I did quite a bit, because I had an incinerator, it would start in here too. There's the bedtime warning. Here's the door lock circuitry, by the way. Ignore this. This is for the water streams, but the door lock circuitry basically is this daylight sensor, and then this connects to the off or release switch. But yeah, this floor would burn, and it would wash away the redstone for the night alert, but that no longer happens because I've got fire sprinklers and diorite. Sorry, I misspoke. The water from the... There is the sound of the door close warning, and if I go out here, there's the door shut. Listen. It's the exact same circuit I showed in the video before. As I was mentioning, the floor used to melt, and... The floor used to burn because I had an incinerator over here. It's gone now. But this floor would burn, and there would be fires occurring just randomly. And so, what I did is I installed a fire sprinkler system. I might make my next video on that, actually. That might be my next video, and I might record it after this. But what was happening is, when that went off after there was fire, when I pulled the alarm after there was fire, it would flood my basement and destroy all of the redstone. So I've added diorite beneath the floor to prevent that from happening, and I suggest you do that if you're about to build a system, which I'll show in my next video. So I'm probably gonna record it after this, but you're probably gonna be seeing it tomorrow, because I probably delayed the upload till tomorrow. But yeah, that's my system. Please drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, you can go ahead and dislike it or whatever. You don't have to do anything. You're not obliged to. And if you decide you don't like my content, you can always unsubscribe whenever you like. I make videos whenever I feel like it, so please do not expect daily videos. I might make one once a week. I haven't made videos in a long time. If you see some of my old videos, you'll realize why I only have 12 subscribers. Content was terrible. I'm trying to improve things, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep in this Minecraft world, because that's what needs to happen, because mobs are spawning, and yeah, they're probably destroying everything. I need to see how many entities there are.